Exactly. Yeah. These are complex markets because there are a lot of cultural things to take into account. But for now and in the next years, we are very focused in the US and also the new markets that are blooming in Europe, like the UK, which is growing a lot, and Germany, which are two countries with a lot of tennis tradition, and now they are discovering paddle.
Hey, paddlers, we're here at RacquetX with Alfonso, the global marketing guru for NOX Rackets. Alfonso, welcome to the channel. Tell us a little bit, what is the vision for NOX globally?
Well, the vision for NOX globally is to become the best paddle racket brand in the world. I mean, we started, as you know, with Padel in 2008. Then in 2020, we started with beach tennis. And since the last 2 years, we are starting to introduce a new pickleball range. So we are present in the three main paddle sports in the world.
So, but you're saying number one, you're probably somewhere in there, right?
But you are there already. You have the number one player and you have the number one racket now. So what else do you guys want to do now?
We have in Padel and in beach tennis also we have the number one player in the world. And hopefully in some years we will have the number one player in pickleball as well.
So what is your market share right now globally with paddle compared to the bull paddles and any other brands?
Well, it's around 20%, but you know it's a very fragmented market. So yeah, it's 20%, and depending on the category, we are number one or we are number two. So in high range paddle rackets, we are leading, and also we did a very good job with shoes, which was a pretty new product line. We started in 2021. It's only 5 years, and we are one of the top 3 brands in paddle shoes.
And so what's your goal? You said 20% of market share. Your goal is to increase that, and how high?
Well, of course, we want to have as much market share as possible. But there are a lot of competitors, and we see new brands launching every day. So our goal is to be leading the high range of the product. I mean, so in this range where paddles are more in the $200, $300, this is where we want to be number one always.
It's smart. Now, what areas globally are you looking to penetrate into? What's a hotspot? What's the new thing for 2027? The new areas?
Geographically speaking,
yes.
Well, of course, the US is a very important market. We've seen that in 1 year, the number of courts have increased more than 100%. It's still small compared to other countries because there are more courts in Portugal than in the US, but this will change very fast.
So how about Indonesia? How about India? How about those areas that are really booming in paddle? Are you looking to penetrate into those areas?
Exactly. Yeah. These are complex markets because there are a lot of cultural things to take into account. But for now and in the next years, we are very focused in the US and also the new markets that are blooming in Europe, like the UK, which is growing a lot, and Germany, which are two countries with a lot of tennis tradition, and now they are discovering paddle.
So what is your strategy to make NOX growth here in the United States?
Well, basically, you need good partners, good distribution partners, and you have to make things a little bit different to what you do in Europe. Right? So, of course, having the number one player in the world and our roster of players, it's very important. But you have to work very closely with clubs, with coaches, and make a very good grassroots work. Something that probably you don't need to do in Spain because everybody knows the brand. In the US, you have to do it. And if you talk about pickleball, you have to do it even more because the pickleball player doesn't know nothing about NOX.
So what are the plans to compete with already established brands here in the USA in paddle, like Wilson, Head, even Babolat, that's from France? What are your plans to compete with them?
Well,
because Americans know that brand already and you feel comfortable.
Yeah. Well, of course, we have to have the best product possible. So the good thing is that we were born as a paddle brand.
But the American market does not know that. So if the American market goes and looks at Head, Wilson, NOX, and this is the first time they play, they're going to choose something they're familiar with. How do you guys now going to compete with that? What is the plan?
But this is something that we have seen around the world in every country where the paddle starts blooming. The traditional tennis brands are there because they have the distribution, they have
The history
exactly
in the country.
But there's always at one point where the paddle player starts to mature,
Yeah.
and they look for something specific and something that it's created.
But can you wait that long? Because sometimes what happens is that they buy a Head or a Wilson or something else, and they somewhat, even if they do know, they become a little loyal to that. Not all of them will switch over to that. But can you wait that long?
No, it's not that we are waiting. It's something that it happens, let's say, naturally, but we are pushing it by having the #1 player in the US, Brittany Dabbins, who you already know. So you have to push a little bit.
Ornella, then you guys have, right?
Sorry,
Ornella, the youth.
Yeah, Ornella.
You guys have now.
We have good expectations with it.
No, tell us all about. I mean, that's a new signing. Ornella Beltramino, #1 in Spain. I think is one of the best players in the world. She's only, I think it's 13, 12, 13. What is the projection in there?
Well, we have a project called the NOX Future Academy where we are bringing all the new talents around the world, and well, similar to tennis academies as well. And we put them in our facilities in Barcelona to make them grow. But in the specific case of Ornella, well, I don't want to put too much pressure on her, but the strategy is it's clear. We want to have the best players in the world, so you have to have a huge range of young players because you never know. They are too young. Ornella looks fantastic, has a very promising future, but you know they are just teenagers, and you never know. So you have to bet on a lot of them, make a good environment for them, make them grow, and God knows what happens in the future. Huh?
So something interesting. Your #1 selling racket is obviously the Agustin Tapia.
Yes.
And let's say, how do you deal with, let's say, last year's Agustin Tapia? Everybody loves it, and now you guys come out with a new one. It's a little bit different, but you're still selling the last year one. You still producing the old model, or you just get that out of the system and get new models?
Yeah, we combine they coexist in the market, but there's the product cycle is you launch the new one, you still keep the last year one, but at some point you finish.
How long do you wait? Do you guys have a process or policy, or depending on how well they sell?
No, I would say it's like 9 months, more or less.
Okay.
Because then you introduce the new one. The new one has new technologies, new molds, new everything. So you don't want to keep the old one forever.
Yeah, you don't want to compete against each other.
But sometimes some customers they want to have it for some time, so you produce a little bit more of that. But of course, we are always pushing consumers to have the new one. No?
Right. But I mean, sometimes somebody gets so used to one brand, and I remember I used one brand for 4 years before I couldn't find it anymore. Then I had to jump over to that. Yeah. Did you ever find one collection or model that people just love and say, okay, you know what, we're just gonna keep this forever?
We did it with ML10 Pro Cup.
Oh, that's right.
ML10 Pro Cup.
Yeah.
Which this is a racket that we cannot modify anything on it because there's people that they have bought 20 units during their lives. No? They are always using the same racket. So this is like our legacy racket that never changes.
So now the Edu Alonso, I think, is that racket. It's selling pretty well. I mean, and I would love to get my hands on it and try it a little bit. What is what? But I want to play with it. So what is the difference between this one and the Agustin Tapia?
Well, there are several differences. First of all, in the new Agustin Tapia, we introduced the weight balance system. So it comes with these weights.
Okay.
So
interesting.
You have 2 pieces of 2 grams and 2 pieces of 4 grams.
And how do you glue them, or how do you put them there?
You put it here. You have the spots here to put it. You can use the racket as it is if you feel okay. But in case that you want to have higher balance, because you feel that you need it for Smash or for Víboras, or then you can customize this.
Okay.
So this is something that we introduced it only in the 8010 range.
And this one?
And this one, they have the differences in the materials.
Okay.
So this one, it's the 12K carbon. This is the aluminized carbon. So the feel is different. So it's but they both are hybrid shape rackets. So in that, so they are similar, but with some specific differences in the touch and the feel, and also in the system of customizing the balance.
So one of my favorite rackets was Attack 18K.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Is this one it? It looks like the shape, but I couldn't. Is that this one it?
This one is the Attack, yes.
Yes. One of my favorite rackets out of our collection. You have more of the balance up here.
So they are the same racket, exactly the same racket, but you have the two shapes in case that you prefer this shape.
Yes.
How about now? Let's talk about different products. Shoes. I have tried your shoes, and they're fantastic.
Yeah.
How much R&D are you putting on the shoes? How much, push are you doing with the shoes?
Well, it took us 13 years until we launched our first shoes collection. And that was because we understood that we could only launch something to the market that was specifically developed for the sport. So we went to the best podiatrist in Spain, which is Marta Rueda and the family, the Rueda family. They are very famous in Spain because they work with Football Club Barcelona. They have helped Messi, Garbiñe, Muguruza. They've worked with tons of athletes. And they studied the movements of padel, and they did all the recommendations for our shoes. So we implemented. Of course, they didn't design the shoe, but they told us what were the key technologies that a good padel shoe should have. And we, of course, we
Okay, what is the technology there?
Well, there are several ones. No, starting by the drop, we increase it a little bit, the drop, because of the waiting position in padel. So you have to be always ready to go through the net. But also, we introduce it the lateral support to avoid I don't know
The sprain or the twist of the arm.
Exactly. And also the level of amortiguation, because too much amortiguation can feel comfortable, but it's not good for
cushioning.
Health.
Amortiguation.
Sorry, cushioning. Yeah. I'm sorry for my English.
So a question: what was this decision, or why did you move into the sneaker wear? I mean, you have a lot of big brands, huge brands, really dominating that market. What was it? Why was the decision to enter into that category? And what are the strategies to compete with those other really big brands?
Well, the fact is that we had all the products that you need to play padel except the shoe. So you are giving a space for a competitor when you are in a retailer or a club. If you don't have all the products, then you are giving a space for someone else to come in.
Well, you have shoe companies that just do shoes for racket sports. And that's all they do, and they dominate that thing. So you guys do rackets. Now you're moving into the shoe space. I mean, how are you gonna compete with those bigger brands that dominate the market?
You're talking about the Nikes and the Asics
that just
and the
focus
Adidas.
on shoes.
Well, that's because we are very specific to the sports that we are operating. I mean, of course, we know that padel is growing, but globally speaking, it's still a niche sport.
Yeah.
No? So we are specializing in these niche sports where we are present. No?
Gotcha.
But I am sure that at some point these big brands will put an eye on padel and they will come in as well.
Yeah.
So we have to be ready with the right product, with the right performance, and be in the minds of the consumer as a specialized brand.
And you guys are gonna focus on clubs to carry these, or how are you gonna market these? How are you gonna sell these?
Shoes?
Yes.
Shoes, you mean? Well, I think there's no one specific tactic that will work. No? At the end of the day, we are selling our shoes as something that is good for your health. It's not just fashion. You know, but if I could sell it through, I don't know, in Spanish, the farmacias, I don't know that.
Pharmacies.
Pharmacies, I would do it, no? But I think these big brands don't have this approach, no? It's more a massive market, but not that specific, no? So we are always marketing our shoes like something that it's good for health to prevent or decreasing the risk of having injuries, and also being comfortable.
Great. Well, thank you so much for all the information, and we wish you the best of luck. Hey, paddlers, we're here at the stand of NOX Paddle at RacquetX, and we're here with Philippe. NOX is one of the leading paddle brands in the world. Now they're here big in the United States. Philippe, welcome to the channel. Why don't you tell us a little bit of what's the vision for NOX in the US?
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. It's really a great privilege to have the exclusive license of NOX in the United States. Obviously, it's the #1 brand in the world. Agustin Tapia, he does what nobody can do on the court, and just watching him, relates really well in the parallel of the NOX brand. So when you think about NOX in the US, we think it's at really its infancy. We're really building a world-class team to really just accelerate the growth of not just paddle, but pickleball. And we're really excited about what we're doing and really excited about the team we have in place and all the different channels that we're pursuing. And we just in the first month of having the license, we've really exceeded our expectations from a B2B perspective. And we launched our D2C today, so couldn't be more excited about that. And just thinking really strategically about the brand and how we're going to position ourselves in the next 10 years.
So you talked about B&B. In 2026, what is the strategy here in the USA when it comes to B&B?
So the first thing we did was we completely, we built everything from the ground. So the team went to work and we built a B2B platform that's completely proprietary to our distributor. Just some simple things as live inventory management, giving really good visibility to our B2B clients, making sure there's no inventory shortages. I'm very big on communication and having really good visibility. So that's what we want to give our clients.
That's great. So now distributors, when they want to order products, they can see exactly what you guys have in stock and they can order right there on the platform?
It's all live.
Oh my God. Is that proprietary or is that a third-party company that other...
Our team built everything from the ground. We think like engineers. And I mean, I like to say in our company, we have domain expertise and I don't helicopter monitor anybody. And we have brilliant people on the team that I know pound for pound, they're the best at what they do. So we're really excited.
Excellent.
So one question, in the past few years, I mean, you guys are originally from Spain and other brands are from Spain. And sometimes the inventory was a big issue. Spain wasn't sending you enough rackets and things like that. How are you solving that problem? Because that has to be a partnership between NOX Spain and you guys, right?
So first off, Oakley is an extraordinarily strategic partner.
Oakley sunglasses?
Oakley Capital.
Oh, okay.
So Oakley is the new main partner for NOX. We think very similarly across the line in terms of just how we want to build the business, how we want to build the brand, how we think about it globally, how we think about it in the US market. Their thesis was we're investing. A big reason is because of the US market. So we have a responsibility to deliver on that. And when we think about inventory in the past, we weren't having enough product. That's all in the past. We all think go forward, and we're working together as a team from corporate to the distributor to really make sure the way that we're thinking is going to be able to fulfill all the demand that we're seeing in the market today.
Now, talk to us about these products, these rackets, and any new products that you're going to have in 2026 for the US.
So I think the most important stat, and we learned this recently, was so in 2024, NOX sold 400,000 paddles worldwide.
Wow.
In 2025, they sold over 530,000 rackets worldwide. That's a 30% growth.
Yeah.
That is extraordinary. And this year, we're expecting that we're going to sell 700,000 rackets worldwide. So the growth is extraordinary. And when we look at just the racket specifically, so the Alonso, this is, when we were in Barcelona, Yvonne likes to say, this is an amazing all-around racket. It's just a great feel, control, power. The Tapia, obviously, this is the #1 racket sold in the world.
Yeah.
You have here the 12K, which is more for control and feel. And then you have the 18K, which is just a power racket. So I just actually got the 18K, and I can really feel the difference with the Alonso. So it's just a different style, and I actually play both of them.
But the Alonso is one of the best-selling rackets so far, right? I mean, that racket sells pretty well.
It was the first one that got sold out. So we're out of stock right now. We have another shipment coming in 2 weeks. This one was the blue and the red are just instant hits. And we really love the way it happens.
And I always love how this always tells you how to hold it. Like this is a serve. If you're right-handed, this is a serve spot. So you hold it like this, and that's how you serve.
Yeah.
So it's always such a cool, small detail.
You know, the product really aligns with how we think. Every detail matters, and we curate like the product to make sure that the player is in control. So even like you look at, we have the light for the woman. So for the woman, we have the light, and you can even still like feel the difference, and we're really just focused on the player.
So how about any new products that you guys are excited to release this year, 2020? So I know you got sneakers, you got bags. What are you looking
So we're looking at it, the shoes right here. These are, we feel that we've developed the best shoe in the market. The shoes will be coming second half of the year, and we feel with the highest conviction that we have the best shoe in the market, not just for paddle, but for pickleball too, which is a new space that we're entering. So we're really excited about that.
So United States being such a huge country, you know, if you compare to Spain or France, I mean, United States is huge. How do you plan to strategically expand all across, you know, the United States? Because I mean, one thing is to be strong in Miami, but now, you know, you have Washington State, you have the Northeast, you have the West Coast. How do you NOX USA? How do you guys plan to expand all across the United States?
Yeah, so when you think about the macro market in the US, there's roughly 150,000 paddle participants. Any expert will tell you in the next 5 years, there's going to be 1 to 3 to 5 million paddle participants. So NOX, in the first 2 years of being here, we captured roughly 15% market share of racket sales in the US, doing absolutely nothing. It just shows how strong of a global presence it has. And really the expat community really understands it. The greater challenge that we're seeing is if the sport's going to grow to 5 million paddle participants, the majority of that growth will be Americans. Right? It's not the expat community. And we have to introduce the brand to them. So what our team is doing, and you see Nick here, you know, I call him Bulldog. He can get in any door. We have an unbelievable sales team that anticipates every new account without them really feeling that they don't know anything about NOX. We treat every new account like we don't take anything for granted. So we go from the bottom up, building up just credibility in the brand from nothing. And we're really planting seeds all around the country with these new clubs that are being built by American operators to really teach them about the brand. But that's on the B2B side, right? Then you think about D2C, which is just online marketing. So we're investing heavily with a very strategic marketing partner to bring brand awareness of NOX through D2C. So that doesn't require you purchasing at the club. What we feel is the club, it builds brand equity, it builds credibility of the product to the player, and we're investing a lot to build that brand equity and to gain the trust of that customer.
So we've been around the country, and we visit almost every club, whether Northeast, Miami, the West Coast, Texas. And what we're seeing more and more is some of the clubs lining up, because more American, second, third, fourth generation Americans lining up with the American brands like Wilson, Adidas, even Babel, brands that kind of the Americans kind of understand. What's your strategy in trying to penetrating that and trying to get those people to know about NOX?
No, that's great. So when I first got into paddle, I bought a Babelot. Yeah. I didn't know NOX. So it's exactly to your point. So when you put a NOX in people's hands, they feel it. When you ask these collegiate tennis players that know Wilson, Babelot, here, put NOX, they'll play and they say, oh my goodness, I can tell the difference. Yeah. The product speaks for itself.
Yeah, the quality is outstanding.
Yeah. So we just have to put the product in people's hands. Yeah. That's what we're saying.
Okay, but how are you going to do that? Because being such a huge country.
So what happens is we have an unbelievable sales team, boots on the ground, that are opening up all these accounts with all these B2B clients. And we're also, just from like a grassroots perspective, you see we're sponsoring a lot of the best amateur players in the country, a lot of the pros in the country. Like we're investing significantly in marketing.
In the youth too. I just recently saw that.
You just saw, exactly. So we're investing a lot in the youth and really focused from the ground up and really like the grassroots approach.
Okay, so let's say viewers, listeners, they want to purchase a NOX racket. Where they should go? Instagram, social media, website. What is it?
So we have NOX USA launched today. Again, we have live inventory, so if we're going low on stock, you're going to know. And we have our Instagram that launched to NOX USA. So please support us. We're lucky to have you and look forward for you to get a NOX.
Good luck and let's NOX.